He can get all the way around before we're done with this commercial break.
He's got practice now.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Here's your checkers, baby. Way to do it, champ. The Deuce is back.
The Deuce is back in victory lane. Kurt Busch's last 3 wins have come on 1.5 mile tracks, including back-to-back spring races here in Atlanta. Matt Yoakum is in victory lane.
For the second straight year, a drama-filled overtime win. I don't know what was more impressive, the teamwork. I don't know what was more impressive, the teamwork or your 2 power moves on those restarts.
I'm just so happy to bring this car home to victory lane. I mean, with Steve Addington, all of his new ideas, I never knew how we could mesh them together and how soon we were able to do it. So we were able to get it right and hit it just perfect with the marks today. Even on all the restarts at the end, I just felt like we had the car to beat. And we were racing that other 9 car today, and it's great to bring home Miller Lite on top. And for Dodge, this is a big win. And when Kurt wins, somebody's going to win a Dodge Challenger. So hopefully you got your UPC labels in. I'm just so excited for this team and all of our associate sponsors right now.
This team gelled so quickly. In fact, at one point they told you had to quit going to the shop so much because they couldn't get work done. How important to knock off this win so early?
I just think it's the most important thing to have communication early on and to make sure that you get in tune and to know where everybody stands and how is Steve being absorbed, how is he delegating the work. And so I'm just really happy to bring it on home. I mean, just thanks to Miller Lite, to Dodge, to Sprint, all the fans that were here, and of course all the fans watching on TV. I mean, we got a great combination right now. And to some of our associate sponsors, thank you so much. And a new one, Tag Heuer, sunglasses. I don't even know where my eyewear is right now. I'm just so excited. Probably fell on the right side doing my reverse lap.
A reverse lap of trip to victory lane, and he climbs to 10th unofficially in the championship standings. Chris?
All right, thanks. Kurt Busch leading 129 laps, but the restart, you heard him talk about it, and Casey Kane had trouble in this restart.
Yeah, he had trouble right there. He was trying to make a run, I think, get a jump on Juan Pablo Montoya. Montoya didn't go. He gets in the back of him, and because of all that, the 98 didn't get going. Guess who got going? That Blue Deuce. He took off like he was, I mean, on fire, and nobody could catch him.
And how difficult is it to win back-to-back spring races in Atlanta? Hasn't been done since the late 60s by Cale Yarborough, but Kurt Busch does it, and with that, gains 9 positions in points, so he's up to 10th. Kevin Harvick remains your leader.
And the reason why he's still the leader, a great comeback today. He struggled all day long, but at the end of the day, Gil Martin and everybody at RCR got him a top 10 finish. He finished 9th, holds on to that point lead.
Steve Addington, the crew chief, you heard Kurt Busch talking about him, and the captain.
Yeah, there's the captain down there, Roger Penske. He's got to be elated. Now, look, I questioned Steve Addington and whether or not this marriage was working. Well, I pronounce him man and wife because it definitely worked today. They were able to come back and make this car like he needed it and to be able to go back-to-back, as you've already pointed out. It's not easy to do here in Atlanta, and they did it today as far as this team's concerned.
Pronounce a man and a victor, and for Roger Penske, 15 Indy 500 wins as an owner, a Daytona 500 win, but hanging with here in this combination, victory lane for Kurt Busch. Meanwhile, Matt Kenseth finishing second in points. He's with our Steve Burns.
Well, Matt, that was a wild finish to say the least. I think the fans got their money's worth, but talk about it from your perspective.
It's crazy. I mean, when you do that at the end and some had 4 and some had 2, and you kind of, you know, I could have bet about anything there was going to be a wreck on the first one because there's just so many different people on different tires, and this place gets so slick, even on 2 tires, it was going to be difficult. So I'm happy we were in the right place at the right time and got 2 good, clean restarts and was able to make a couple spots up.
So a good day.
It was a great day. It's been a great 4 weeks. We've had a great start to the season. We had a lot of fun today. We had just superb pit stops today. The adjustments were good. It was just overall, it's a great day for us. We weren't quite good enough to run with the couple fastest cars, but you know, we could run 3rd or 4th all day, and just overall, it was a good, solid day for us.
See you at Bristol.
All right, thanks.
Juan Montoya, solid day today, but you came so close to that checkered flag. How disappointing is it?
No, you know, the point we didn't finish second, but it got me by surprise. You know, we had those 2 lines that we were supposed to start with, and he went probably like 40 yards before the first line, and it really surprised me. You know, it's not a big deal. He deserves to win. I'm not going to say, oh, he shouldn't won because he did that. He just want to make sure, you know, for next time NASCAR knows about it, but it's okay. You know, that car we were a lot better in the long run. In short run, he was good. Well, you know, we pumped up the tires there at the end, but it was so tight it wouldn't turn, so it's okay. we needed this. You know, show everybody that, you know, we've been there every week. It's just a lot of things happen, so it's nice to get a clean result. Car in one piece, ran against the fence all day, so I'm pretty proud.
Congratulations. Solid run today.
Well, Casey Kane has won here before. He could smell the victory today for a while. Anything you do different? Talk about that final restart.
Well, we just got tight, so I couldn't run through the corner as fast as we needed to. We didn't quite stay up with it. We were really dominant at times, but Budweiser Ford was good. We had a good day. We missed it at the end, and the restarts were crazy. I'd spin the tires sometimes, and Juan spun them there, and I was trying to push him, and we were sideways, and it was just a mess. But I had a good time. I wish we would have ran better. I wish we would have won the race, but we had a good car. We came close.
And in the big picture, this 9-team climbing back up in the points.
Thanks, Krista and Casey. Kane led the most laps today, 144, but there's your winner, the 2004 Sprint Cup champion, the winner today in the Kobalt Tools 500. More on the Carl Edwards finish here in just a moment. Promotional considerations provided by another great finish here in Atlanta, and there is the winner, Kurt Busch, and his crew chief. You heard him thank his pit crew over the radio transmission, and the 4-tire, 2-tire debate, dilemmas, which is a lot of fun. They went with 4. You said they should. It worked out.
Well, the way it was, they were in the right position. The crew responded, had a solid stop. They gave Kurt, just like last week, and I had that big debate about whether or not you take 4 or 2. Today, they gave him the ability to maneuver that car around. He was able to get a great restart, and that was the difference between winning and losing today.
Yeah, 3 laps to go. It looked like Kurt Busch was going to win it, and then Carl Edwards gets into Brad Keselowski. Keselowski had wrecked Carl Edwards earlier, some 40 laps into the race, and we know about their history going back to Talladega last year. And then, of course, NASCAR, and Brad Keselowski was okay, by the way. His feelings hurt a little bit, and Carl saying he didn't mean intentionally to flip him, but it was obvious payback. You know, usually if you're going to get revenge, you have to make it has to look less obvious.
Well, I think he clearly was on a mission, and he got the job done. But as you pointed out, he didn't mean to get him upside down. But this rear wing is one of the byproducts of cars flipping and flying. Everything else was working, but the car still got off the ground. Thank goodness for this safer car and safer barriers, because at least Brad Keselowski was able to walk away from this crash.
Yeah, Keselowski has started it, has a few other enemies out there, but real quick, because Carl Edwards is a likable guy, but in 06 nationwide race, he confronts Dale Earnhardt Jr. 07 goes after Matt Kenseth, Martinsville race. 08 with Harvick in the garage in Charlotte, they almost fight. Earlier this year, called Kyle Busch an idiot on the radio at Las Vegas. So is this a guy, obviously he wants to win, he smiles a lot, but is he a guy who is a little bit dangerous when you get him out on the track, temper-wise?
He might be a little bit sneaky, but he doesn't take anything off anybody. You at least know that if you mess with Carl Edwards, this could be wind up what you're going to get. I mean, you're not going to push him around, that's for sure.
And frustration maybe not having won a race last year. And the tempers will heat up. Kurt Busch has had success as we go to Bristol in 2 weeks, but certainly between Keselowski, Carl Edwards, Juan Pablo Montoya, we'll see some guys going back at each other.
We haven't seen anything yet until we get to Bristol.
Tonight on Fox, coming up, The Simpsons at 8 Eastern, Family Guy at 9 Eastern. It's animation domination. You'll laugh out loud. And we mentioned Bristol coming up in 2 weeks, an off week after this. Kyle Busch swept both Bristol races last year, the younger brother, of course, of Kurt.
And I was going to say, don't forget that Kurt Busch is awful good at Bristol also. He's won a lot of races there, too. So I think he's carrying momentum into Bristol here in 2 weeks.
So Carl Edwards, who came in with 3 wins on this track, creates a stir at the end, and Kurt Busch survives overtime, a second green-white checker. The King telling A.J. Allmendinger, who finished 6th, way to hang in there. Meanwhile, pole sitter Dale Earnhardt Jr. never led a lap. We counted at least a dozen drivers complaining about some tire issues, which had an effect on the race.
But throughout all those tire issues, he kept battling. He wound up with a 15th place finish, and it might not sound like a lot, but that could be huge as we go toward this chase.
And Jimmy Johnson, trying to win his 3rd straight race, wound up 12th. For our entire crew, Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers, we'll see you in 2 weeks from Bristol Motor Speedway at noon Eastern. By the way, happy birthday to A.D. Fran Morrison. Have a good one from NASCAR on Fox.